Hey Coach, it's Matt here from the VIP Nutrition Coach Show. In today's episode, Kate and I are breaking down the 3 most important pillars of a successful nutrition coaching business, plus how to implement them in your business. We see too many coaches with shiny object syndrome, which means you end up overworked without the income to show for it. And this can make the coaching business that was supposed to be your dream start feeling like a nightmare. In scaling 4 different nutrition coaching businesses to 6 figures on our own, before teaming up to build a 7-figure business together, Kate and I have had to master the art of focus in business to achieve the success while maintaining a strong work-life balance. And that's why we want to share these 3 pillars with you in today's show, so that you know exactly where to focus in your business so you can scale without sacrificing your freedom. This episode is a snippet from one of the weekly live trainings we do in the Online Nutrition Coach Community Facebook group. If you'd love to hear the full episode, get access to weekly live trainings and resources to help you scale your online coaching business, you can head directly to the Online Nutrition Coach Community Facebook group or go to beyondmacros.com/community to get access plus a free bonus training to help you scale your nutrition coaching business without working a minute past 30 hours per week. All right, that's enough from me. Now for the episode. We are going to absolutely clarify for you what you've been wasting time on and where you should be spending your time to build that really strong, successful business. This is exactly the 3 of the 4 pillars that we teach in our build workshop. So, this is stuff that people will actually pay us for, and we're giving you this information for free today. So keep it on the DL. And if you haven't met, the lovely Kate Jaramillo. This is Kate. She is our client success boss at Beyond Macros. Kate, do you want to give people a quick intro who might not know you and tell them why this info today is going to be so important?
Totally. So my name's Kate Jaramillo, and I am the client success boss at Beyond Macros, and I take care of all of our build workshop babes. So what I do is I work with everyone to identify their needs, to help them create amazing, irresistible offers that their clients cannot wait to buy from them, to help them stand out in the marketplace and work through all of the little bumps along the way that we go through in entrepreneurship. Matt and I have lots of experience with the bumps along the way, so we can help all of our clients just move through those bumps a little bit faster, more effectively, and we know what it takes to grow and build, grow, and scale an online nutrition business. And that's what we're here to help you all do.
Exactly. So today, as we mentioned, we're going to be diving into these 3 pillars that are going to help you build that successful online coaching business. And the thing is, the reason that these pillars are so important is because we recognize that a lot of you, you're not nutrition coaching or health coaching full-time yet. A lot of you are still doing it on the side or doing it part-time, and you're trying to make it the full-time thing, but you just don't have enough income to replace what you've got from your full-time job, or you just, even if you are starting to get a bit more income, you're just like, it's not as stable and steady, and it doesn't have the benefits. So you have limited time that you're working with, maybe 20 hours per week. And if you want to actually build a successful business in those 20 hours per week, you can't be wasting time on these ineffective things like building a website and getting a logo designed and all of these things that really are sucking time away from you. So Kate and I just wanted to share some of the things, first and foremost, that we feel that we've wasted a lot of time on in the past, and some of the things that we've seen some of our most successful coaches have wasted time on, and then we'll bring you into the pillars that they've really mastered in order to actually build a successful business. It's interesting because a few weeks ago, we talked to one of our clients, Luke. And as you know, Luke had a month where he sold $9,000 in coaching while he was on vacation. And then the following month, he hit me up and he was like, dude, I landed 5 clients at $3,000 this month. So he had a $15,000 month. And the thing is, when Luke first came to us, he had put all of this time into building a website. And that website didn't get him any clients. And then all of a sudden, he switched his focus, and now Luke is one of these like masters of the social media marketing, which is one of the pillars that we will be talking about in depth. But by switching his focus from the things that didn't matter, like a passive marketing strategy, like a website, to a more active marketing strategy, Luke was able to rapidly grow his business, literally from 0 to 15K in 4 months. So that's the power of what we're going to be teaching you today. That might give you a hint about how I feel about websites. Here's the thing, I'm guilty. I put so much time into my website when I was first starting out. And luckily I had a friend who was an SEO expert. So, I was able to get some high ranking keywords. But even then, like, people are just Googling answers to questions. Usually they don't have high buyer's intent. So it was like thousands of leads coming in that didn't really have any interest in paying me high ticket to get a solution to their problems. They just wanted Dr. Google to solve it for them. But Kate, where do you feel like you wasted the most time in your journey?
Oh my gosh, graphics. And that's not my zone of even competence. Like, graphics are really hard for me. I know Canva makes it very easy for you to like make and design things. I didn't even like use Canva when I was first starting out. I was using like PicMonkey, and I had so much trouble. But I would spend, oh my God, this is so embarrassing, but like, you guys should just know, I would spend literally like 3 hours working on a graphic and then thinking like, oh, this is it. Like, this graphic is really going to call in people and grab their attention. And I'd post it and it's like, crickets, no one can hear anything. Like, it was so not worth it. That was such a time suck for me. That was one of the biggest time sucks ever. It's so funny. And I think about the graphics and the websites, and because those are things that like, I hire out, and PS graphics, just take a selfie. People really want to see like just you, and they want to see your face smiling and doing things. But the design aspect for me, because that's so far outside of like what I'm really, really great at, it was so much easier to just build it out. But thinking like, ooh, I'm going to make this awesome graphic, or I'm going to like get this fancy, awesome website that's going to be like loaded with all these pages and information. And if I build it, they will come. Guys, I love you. I mean this with massive love. Your business is not the field of dreams. If you build it, it doesn't mean that they are going to come. You have to put in the work, okay?
That's the truth. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I find when we do these content reviews, which if you're new, we do a content review every month. So keep your eye out for that. But we do these content reviews, and oftentimes, especially when I'm looking at Instagram and I'm kind of scrolling over and seeing what the engagement is, whenever people are like putting up, and it's obvious that they took like an hour to create this post on Canva, where it's like an infographic, and I'll hover over it and I'm like, this is the worst performing post on your entire Instagram. And it probably took you way more time than just taking a selfie and writing a soul touching caption for your ideal clients. And so that's why this first pillar that we want to be teaching you about today, social compounding, is so important. Because one of the things that I see coaches wasting a lot of time on is their content. It's one of those things where if you're spending a bunch of time on Canva creating guides and lead magnets and, images and infographics for your social media, but they're about like, what's the best salt, or like, what's the, minute difference between calorie counts of every vegetable that there is. I mean, those things aren't moving the needle. And as easy as it is to take a picture of your food, or like to take a video of a piece of your workout, when you do that, you look exactly like every single other coach out there, because that content is easy. And so, yes, you can put that into your content strategy if you just need to quickly grab something that's easy. But the thing is, we teach a very strategic content formula that we call social compounding within our Build workshop that is exactly what you need in order to start creating clients from your content. Now, really quickly, I just want to tee up the reason that we call this social compounding is because if you know anything about compound interest, compound growth, it is different from linear. So linear, it's like if you put $10 in your bank account every every week, it goes up by $10 every week. But as soon as you add compound interest in, it's like you might be at $20 the next week, but eventually you hit this huge growth curve. There's like this inflection point where all of a sudden, your $10 deposits, well, every year, it's like the amount your money is growing by is huge. It's exponential. And so the thing is with social media experts, or with social media, we find that most coaches are stopping short of gold. Yes. And they are not creating the right strategy to actually talk to their soul clients. So we teach in social compounding how to actually start speaking in a way that is going to land with your audience, as well as how to grow your audience so that those two things simultaneously are going to get you that huge inflection point. And too often I see that coaches are realizing they're putting these like Canva infographics out and they're spending hours on every post and it's not really getting any traction. And then they're like, social media doesn't work. Social media marketing doesn't work. And then they stop and they're 3 feet from gold. If they just had a strategic content formula that they were following and they actually had clarity about who they were talking to, and if you have clarity about what your offer is and how it is different from everybody else, then all of a sudden it's like you're going to hit that compound growth curve and you're going to be getting, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 worth of sales in a month if you can master this. You don't even need ads if you master this. So, Kate, what do you feel like are some of the things that are the biggest mistakes you've been seeing coaches making with their social compounding efforts? And, how do you think that they can fix it?
One of the biggest mistakes I see is consuming before they're creating. So what they're doing is they're waking up. They aren't doing anything else other than picking up their phone. They wake up, they grab their phone, they open up Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform that they're on, and they just start consuming by scrolling. What this does is immediately set you up for the day. This is how you're starting your day, and you're already starting your day in comparison mode with all the other like coaches and people out there that could be, if you're swimming in a sea of competitors and they're saying things that like, you're like, oh, well, they said it better than me. Well, did they? And did your soulmate client even see it? You start your day in that comparisonitis, imposter syndrome mode, and it paralyzes them for the rest of the day. So that is something that we teach our coaches not to do. We have our coaches create a sacred morning routine and stick to it that sets them up for the rest of the day. I also see coaches just spending hours scouring Facebook and Instagram. It's such a time waster. And what happens too is they get sucked into whatever's going on in the world. And there's a few things happening right now in 2020 and all the things, but they let it affect their emotions. This is again why it's so important to not wake up and open up your phone. We teach our coaches to create before they consume. We also teach our coaches to have a process and a schedule for when they're logging on to social media and a plan for exactly what they're doing in this allotted time. Our coaches are not spending more than like 2 hours a day on social media, and it's compounding to have those 20, 30K plus months.
Yeah. Not to mention, Kate now does a monthly content planning session with all of our Build Workshop clients. And how many weeks of content did you manage to plan out in just, 90 minutes?
We did 16 weeks of content. So we did 4 months of content during our very first content planning call, all based around what our soulmate clients are struggling with the most. And everyone's building in, like putting their personal touches on there, using their clients' own language because they know what exactly their soulmate clients are struggling with and the exact words that they use because they've done the research to find out. It's amazing.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So we can't really stress the importance of the soul touching content enough because one of the traps that I see a lot of coaches getting stuck in is, I just need more followers. I just need more friends on Facebook. And there is definitely merit to growing your audience. Like that's something that we help our coaches with for sure. But if I were to outline the steps for you of social compounding, step 0 really is having Kate help you create an irresistible offer and get really clear about who it is that you serve. Because without those things, without that foundation, it's impossible for you to create soul touching content because you don't know whose soul you're touching. Everybody has like a different soul resonating with different type of content. So that's obviously the baseline, the foundation, step 0. But once you have that in place, then step 1 is that you have to start creating content and putting consistently content out that speaks to their soul. Stuff that creates value. And you have to be very meticulous about tracking what messages are landing with your ideal clients. And the reason we need to do this first is because then that's going to start making it easy for you to figure out what type of content to create. Right now, it takes me maybe 10 minutes maximum to create like 1,000-word value post. Because at this point, I've gotten on so many sales calls with coaches like you. I know exactly what you're struggling with. I've worked with and mentored hundreds of coaches now. I know exactly what they're struggling with on coaching calls, on sales calls. I've gathered all this intel. And so it's so easy for me to write something that speaks directly to the soul of the coaches that I want to help. And so if you're consistently putting the content out first that's speaking to their soul and learning with that feedback loop what is landing with them, then you can actually start to like filter that and figure out how to quickly, and this is part of the compounding, you can figure out how to quickly create that soul touching content. And so these posts, this content is going to act like deposits in the trust bank with your audience. So then step 2, once you've got that content that's landing and you've really warmed up the people in your audience who are your soulmate clients, then that's when strategic content pieces that are designed to create conversations are really going to help. Because then you're going to start to figure out, okay, how do I create the conversations? How do I move these conversations into an enrollment conversation? Once you start to get the reps with your sales and your enrollments, then all of a sudden you see that compound growth curve. More people that you get on, you're going to get more people on the phone from your content. You're going to have more people who get on the phone and enroll in your programs. And all of a sudden, boom, it takes off. And then that's when you can start to sprinkle in that audience growth, that specific audience growth, because you already have a system that works. And when you start to feed more people through a system that works, boom, huge growth curve. But if you're starting to put people into a system that doesn't work, you ain't going to go anywhere.
And in the Build Workshop, we give you the exact scripts to use in the exact training on how, so we're getting your content out there and then exactly how to move from, post engagement to a conversation, to a call, to a converted client. All of that is done for you. Well, I mean, you have to do it, but we give you all of the gold and the training inside of the Build Workshop.
Pillar number 2 here is the VIP experience. Now, one thing that I notice is that newer coaches, imposter syndrome is rampant. Oof. Okay, what did we just talk about on Tuesday?
Yeah,
the number one thing that we see new coaches struggling with.
Imposter syndrome, mindset. Who am I to do this? Can I really do this? Will my clients, how do I know that I can serve my clients well? Yes, imposter syndrome runs rampant in the community. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. And the thing is, if you are struggling with imposter syndrome, if you are struggling with self-doubt, chances are really good that you're going to end up self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what marketing strategies you have. If you've got that self-doubt in the back of your mind, you're going to self-sabotage on sales calls, probably going to be inconsistent with content. Mm-hmm. It's just not a good place to come from. And that's why, for us, part of the VIP experience we provide to our Build Workshop clients is we've started implementing story work mindset calls. It's something that both Kate and I are certified in. One of our coaching business specialists, Sean, is certified. Sammy's gone through the certification. Mindset, changing that mindset up is so important. But one of the things that you can do to really start to remove that doubt about what it is that you provide to your clients is to provide this VIP experience. Mm-hmm. So I did an entire private training. If you want it, you can type VIP in the chat box and I'll get that over to you. But I did an entire hour-long training on the 3 phases of the VIP experience, because this isn't just what happens when somebody signs up. The VIP experience starts before a client even signs up with you. And this is something that we teach our coaches, because the reason that you need to create a VIP experience, the reason this is one of the pillars of the foundations of a successful, a strong business, is if you have to constantly chase new leads and find new clients because clients are dropping off after their minimum commitment or even before, then you're on the sales and marketing hamster wheel. What ends up happening is you have to spend even more time on sales, even more time on marketing, and you know what suffers when that happens? It's either your clients or your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've pretty much got 2 choices there. What do you want to sacrifice? But when you actually create a VIP experience for your clients, then you're actually able to keep them around forever. You actually have to spend less time on sales and marketing. You can go on vacation and know that your income is safe. Mm-hmm. It's one of the most important pillars. That's why I put it in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. And our coaches are the best at creating VIP experiences because they really understand their clients' needs and they treat them like a person, not a transaction. They know that what they've created, their irresistible offer, is exactly what their client needs to reach their ideal outcome. They've built their offer to serve a specific client. And then every step of the way, they make it completely customized, which is the secret sauce to a VIP experience. It's getting to know your client, understanding their love language, what motivates them the most, how you can keep them going on that path, on that journey, get their buy-in, constantly remind them that you're there for them, that you support them, that you're not going to let them down, that you are the last nutrition coach that they ever have to hire. That's exactly what our coaches do. They create that VIP experience, and they are the last nutrition coach that their clients ever have to hire.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing that I really want to point out is something that I think you told to one of our clients recently, is the reason that we give people a blueprint for what a VIP experience can look like, but not templates and frameworks, is why?
Yeah, because if we just gave you templates and frameworks, this wouldn't be a customized experience. You would be using the same thing to sell to anyone. And that's what other people are doing. You don't want the same framework. Yeah. You have to have something that is bespoke. It's something that's, the experience is customized. It's only something that you can deliver. And when that is it, when you have an offer that is only yours, only you can deliver it, then you have no competition in the market, not a single one. You are uniquely qualified to deliver it. You are uniquely qualified to serve your soulmate client, and you are the only one that is uniquely qualified to get them to their ideal outcome and be the last nutrition coach that they have to hire. So we do not give you templates. We just give you love and guidance, but you create it on your own.
So yeah, VIP experience, that's pillar number 2. Reason being, retention, referrals come from a VIP experience, and the VIP experience starts before you even sign a client up. So super, super important, gets you off the sales and marketing hamster wheel and really bulletproofs your business. All right, so who wants pillar number 3? All right, coaches, that's it for today's episode. If you'd like to hear the rest of this training, get access to tons more like it, plus free resources to help you scale your online coaching business, you can head directly to the Online Nutrition Coach Community Facebook group, or go to beyondmacros.com/community to get access. Plus, I'll send you a free bonus training to help you scale your nutrition coaching business without working a minute past 30 hours per week. I hope to see you in the community so I can put a face to the name. I'll see you there. And until next time, much love, legends.